Falcon, I've just bought a new gun.
Is it an M4?
Maybe.
I don't like M4s.
Guess. What?
I really don't like M4s.
Yes, it's an M. What?
100% sure it's not an M4.
Yeah, it's an M4.
Hello and welcome, I'm Falcon.
And I'm Irish.
We're from Fireteam Road, and today we're going to be doing a video that is going to be a bit controversial, isn't it?
Yes, just a little bit.
Yeah. It's the start of a new series called So-and-So's Are Boring. So as you can tell by the title down below, M4s are boring. So, yeah, M4 pattern rifle. This is mine, based on the M4A1, with grenade launcher, ACOG and everything. So a bit of history about the rifle first. Do you know much about the M4s?
No.
Okay. So, originally the M4 comes from the AR-10 and the AR-15, which was built by Eugene Stoner in the Armalite company. That's where the AR bit comes from. And then they were having a bit of a problem with their finances, so sold it on to the Colt factory. And the AR-10 was chambered in 308 originally, and then the AR-15, which became the one that was adopted, is chambered in 5.56. So, and what Colt did is they moved the. So originally, I know this is the modern one. There was a carry handle here where the ACOG scope is, and the charging handle for the AR-10 and 15 was actually in between the charging handle and the top of the upper receiver. So what Colt did was moved it to the well-known position at the rear of the stock, because then, just like that, bang, 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 like that.
Just don't break it.
It was a great rifle. Like I said, the military then adopted it as the M16. This is my brother's M16. So what do we class in Airsoft as an M4?
Well, really, you class something as an M4 variant with anything which has got this kind of unique body. So, like, you've got this little bit. Don't know what that is. Do you know what
the
that
upper receiver. Oh, this bit here.
Yeah.
That's the forward assist.
Yeah.
So
and
in the real world, forward assist is to help push the bolt back into the trunnion.
And the
charging handle,
and of course the magazine.
Mag release,
everything. So that bit from there, so from here to here, would really be what I reckon you would class as an M4 variant.
Yeah, the M4 AR-15 sort of platform.
Because you've got different stocks, like this one is one of the full long length stocks. You've got the fixed stock. You've then got the ones that are like really thin and come down. You've got this one.
You've got your adjustable stocks.
Yeah. And
then, so like I said, these two are very military in their essence. So, do you want to show what you have? I'll put this on the floor.
So, this one is my M4. It's the Biodynamics M4, and as you can see, you wouldn't really use it in a military kind of thing. It's not really military based with the type of rail system that it's got.
It's got a floating barrel, hasn't it? Yeah.
This would more than likely be something that, especially if you're watching in America, would be for, I don't know, maybe your home defence.
Home defence, 3-gun, 2-gun,
competition shooting.
I have seen some styles of this in use with special forces.
Yes.
Private military contractors. One of the things, can I just borrow that?
Yeah.
One of the things that's different is, so obviously you've got your Picatinny all the way along the length, whereas with mine and my brother's, my M4 and my brother's M16, you've got the delta ring. This covers the delta ring. And then you've got M-lock or key lock on the side, depending on which one you have. And then again at the bottom, room for more Picatinny if you want it, or special attachments. So, yeah, and then you've got and it's a polymer body where mine's metal and all that lot.
But as you can see, like I said before, is if you look at any point from here, where I'm in between my hands,
So if we hold up the M16 as
it
a
looks
comparison.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
So this
There's
is
a few differences within
apart
how
from
the body's been built.
yeah, like the inside. I think the grip itself is different, and obviously
There's
the colour.
difference within the body as well.
But
You've got these vents
A
here.
little bit of design, and obviously the BO Dynamics logo on there. But apart from that, if you take away that, it looks exactly the same. Apart from the different colour, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, so in an airsoft term, because remember this is just airsoft.
Yeah.
That's an M4, that's an M4, that's an M4/16. We've also got my father's M15, it was sold as. The Armalite M15 by ASG. This one's all stock. I've just thrown a few attachments on. So again, you're seeing different attachments here as well. So I've got the ACOG grenade launcher, you've got a T1 micro.
I've got the micro T1.
This one has, holographic and a flip side. I've just thrown those on just to show, and silencer. So again, you probably see this more in a special forces style role because it's got the full length Picatinny and everything. And we don't have one here, but one of the things I would class as an M4 variant, and I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for this, HK416 in the airsoft. In the airsoft,
it's exactly the same, just branded as a HK.
Yeah. Well, in the airsoft world, especially when it comes to the M4 platform, externally you can have all sorts of different platforms. You can have, like I said, the M-lock rails, the floating rails, all sorts. 416 outer body, but it's what's inside the gun that counts. It's the gearbox, it's the MOSFETs, the hop units, the inner barrel, it's all this other stuff.
Near enough every single gun is different in terms of that.
I had what was the one I had? The battery was in the front. It was a CAA M4.
Oh yeah, the CAA, yeah.
And that had Magpul furniture, but it still had the triangle line sights, whereas this one, it's got flip-ups.
Yeah.
So, pros and cons of the AR platform in airsoft.
Well, the pros, as you could already see, is the level of customizability and
versatility of it.
And customizability is because of the length of the rails, and it looks decent with anything on it. You stick on a PQ box, you've got the waffle mags, you've got the standard M4 mags. You can put a grenade launcher on, different sights,
sights, holographic sights, magnified sights, T1s, sniper scopes, DMR,
things like that.
Yeah.
It's also because of how popular it is. I'd say you can get parts for it anywhere dirt cheap, because
definitely.
the amount of people that are going to need the parts, they have the ability to pump out more.
Yeah, my M4A1 down there, I got that for 50 quid off someone originally. Plastic body, it had a A1/A2 upper, so the fixed handguard and everything.
It's a grandad gun, isn't it?
Oh, it's a grandad gun. Definitely.
It's old.
It was 50 years, no, not 50, 10 years old at the time, 15, 20 years old sort of going on. And it had the polymer handguard, it had standard sliding stock, the thin one that the military uses. And now, I've put in a lot of money. Simon metal body, Simon gearbox, because the other one was naff. There's all sorts of problems. The only thing...
New rail system.
Simon rail system, grenade launcher, new stock that I stole from a different gun. So I think the only thing that's actually original in here now, buffer tube, pistol grip, outer barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an extension.
Yeah. Is it the same inner barrel as well?
Yes, same inner barrel and same hot unit.
Different hot rubber.
Upgraded
hot rubber.
Upgraded the hot rubber, because again, that's one of the things, is you can get all sorts of inner barrels, all sorts of hot rubbers, all sorts of hot chambers.
Different degrees on what you want it for,
Yeah,
whether
50,
you want it
60,
DMR,
70, 80 degrees.
DMR sniper it, you name it.
And the upgrades, the aftermarket for M4s and AR-15s are massively available. It's amazing what you can get.
Yeah.
And now we have a guest gun with us today.
This is where the controversy comes in.
I wouldn't really say I think the big controversy would have been the 416 comment. But this gun was released a couple of years back.
Yeah, I'd say about a year and a half.
Year and a half back, 18 months old now. Me and Irish looked at it, and North looked at it, and we went, kind of like it.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. It's unique. It's
futuristic.
I'll put it down here next to me. Yeah. It's not internally. It's an M4.
Yes.
Externally, it is so vastly different to what was on the market. Your eyes sort of lit up looking at it, and then nobody bought it. This is, of course, the CSI Star RX5. I believe that's what it is.
Which belongs to a good friend.
This belongs to a friend of mine. He's got a little red dot sight on it. So what was the problem with this? He did buy it in white. There were so many different colour variants, whether it was black, green, white, tan, battleship grey.
Yeah.
It has a really nice battery compartment.
That
right
is actually really nice.
Really nice and big. So simple to get on and off. You just slide this front rail forward and off it comes. There was two main variants, where it was a nice smooth grip all the way down to there, or it's like this one, rail with that you can put all sorts of attachments to. It was a really good looking gun. But like I said, nobody bought it, and you can slide the stock out as well. So why did nobody buy it?
There's a couple of reasons why nobody bought it.
Well, the first big one, the magazine.
Yes.
This is a high cap and straight mag, isn't it?
Yes. Did they not say that it would be able to take M4 mags?
They did say it would be able to take some M4 mags. And I have got an upper one here. So these are my Nupperl mid caps, and I've not tried actually. He says, yeah, Nupperl mid caps going. But then you get this really weird outline.
Yes.
And it sort of ruins the...
Yes.
Well, not ruins, but it breaks up the gun in a weird way.
And if you wanted to have an M4 mag in there,
had to be the Stanak one.
You'd want to use something like this, which is the waffle mag, because it's more
this
futuristic.
This is a what one?
That's a Castellan.
Where did you find these?
That was on Taiwan Gun.
Taiwan Gun, right, okay. I can't even get it past that first ridge, won't even see.
No.
Right.
So those two mags are exactly the same.
So yeah, see that ridge there? Can't even get it to see into the grip. Whereas with my metal one, and you can quite hear it clearly.
Yeah, it slots in quite nicely.
Yeah.
But then you've got this futuristic gun with like an old style mag. It doesn't sit right.
No.
These,
the specific ones they built,
about 15-20 quid a mag.
Which, when you look at high caps specifically, unless they're metal, you could get high caps for cheaper.
Yes, you could get. They probably, I'd say, with the size of it, they're probably only what would you say, about a 250 round.
Something like that.
Yeah, because it's only very small.
200 rounds, because again, it's quite small. I mean, hold that up to. I want to pick up that high cap. Hold that next to another mid cap.
That's a 400. That's a 450 round one.
It's like they've taken a Vietnam mag and stuck it in a body.
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
would be a high cap. Would be a 450.
Yeah.
That.
300 to 400.
That's about half. Just about half of it.
So, again, the next problem that you find with these mags, and our friend that's lent us this has had this problem, pouches.
Yes, it wouldn't fit in as a standard pouch.
No. You think, what is the going military style on the plate carriers and webbing? It's those very thin mag pouches, isn't it?
Yes.
And
because you can fit a lot more on. You could fit
oh, yeah.
like 5 on if you had single ones.
My Osprey, I've got 10 across my chest, and that'll be on in a future video. So,
with something like that, you'd probably have to go
double mags.
Something like double mags,
mags,
wasting a lot of space. But even then, the height of it, it'll be difficult to get it out in a when you actually.
What he's found is how to put it in upside down.
Yeah.
And then because it's one of the Velcro ones, because the double stack ones tend to be the Velcro over the top, they're not the quick release ones that everybody
unless you actually went for like a G36 single one, which then would be you double.
So that was one option for something other than an M4.
Or Kydex. Kydex holsters for that. You can get
that's a good thought. I think, didn't they release holsters
Possibly.
for it? I'm sure they released plastic
Because you've got that
holsters, but
bit,
again,
you-
they were the same price as the mags.
Yeah, so you're probably talking like 30 quid for one mag and one holster, which you could probably get, if you looked on Taiwan Gun, you could probably get like at least like 10 normal mid-cap, M4 mid-cap mags for that price.
Plastic mid-caps.
Plastic mid-caps.
Our metal ones cost us a bit more money.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
It wasn't very good out the box actually, coming back to the
Was it not?
Stars. People were saying it was a bit rubbish out the box. It wasn't getting the range and it was a bit poor for the money.
I don't remember the reviews, it's been a while, but our friend says that shoots like a beast.
Yeah.
And he bought it from a scrapyard. Right? You're going to love this if you're a big airsoft and you're on things like the Facebook groups and everything. Yeah. So I was just checking the thing. BB guns for less. It's the don't go to this site.
Yeah, everybody says that. Like, oh, I found this on BB Guns for Less. What do you reckon I should do? It's like 50 quid cheaper. And everyone goes,
Don't do
it.
He bought this from BB Guns for Less off their scrapyard.
And it works perfectly fine.
Because he's a cosplayer and he wanted it for a cosplay, and then he's gotten into airsoft, and literally the only thing that was wrong with it, besides being white, so he's changed the body panels, is the magazine release was broken, right? And I think one of these side body panels here was missing. That was it. That was all that was wrong with it. And literally...
How much did he spend on it? Because they retail at, what was it, about 150 quid?
120 to 150, yeah. I spent well less than that.
It would have been a fraction of the price.
Probably about a third of the price, because like I said, scrapyard. But
it's-
everything else worked.
Yeah. With him being a cosplayer, all that would have happened is he would have had to strip the internals and it would have been a waste.
Cut the wires.
Yeah.
Cut the wires on the... connected to the battery and the motor, and plug the barrel.
Yeah.
So...
But it's a waste of a good gun. Because I personally like them. So...
It's a nice looking gun, but I wouldn't buy one, personally. I like my military stuff, don't I?
Yes, you are very strict when it comes to that. You won't... If one mag pouch is a different colour, you won't do it. Yeah.
We'll get on to mag
Yes.
pouches another day. So, yeah, as we said, the con of the M4 is pretty much everyone's got one. I didn't start with an M4, you didn't start with an M4.
No.
Actually, we've got our starter guns here with us. So, go on then, what did you start with?
I started with...
This is now mine, by the way.
This gun has been passed through about 4 people.
Jim Jong G36...
Jing Jong.
Jing Jong. No, it's a
J&J.
Jim JJ G36C.
It's actually not, it's actually ASG.
Is it AS?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's ASG.
Well, you were looking at... I'm sure you were looking at the Jim Jong as well.
Something like that. Yeah, this is the ASG G36. It currently belongs to your girlfriend, does it not?
No, it belongs to me.
Belongs
She
to
just
you.
uses it.
Yes. So this was my first gun that
Yeah,
I
because
bought.
you rented one, didn't you, and fell in
Yes.
love with the platform, and like I
Yes.
said, that's now mine. And then mine, I went for a bit of a pricier. I went for the ICS L85.
Yes. Should we say on the price difference?
Go on,
This
then.
was £125 brand new in a Black Friday deal after my birthday.
Yeah, I bought. Yeah, we got it for your birthday. didn't
Yes.
we? Without the scope, which is actually on a different rifle at the moment, 320 quid.
£200 price difference.
Yeah. But for a first rifle, I've actually loved. Now I've used the L85 in real life. Well, not. I've used one of the SA80 family. I used the Cadet variant, the A1 variant. I'm not even going to go into that. Look at Forgotten Weapons if you want to know more. I fell in love with this rifle. I know it's not the best. I know the real steel ones had issues, but the L85 A2 fixes them. But we're not talking about real steel. We're talking about airsoft. And for aftermarket parts, I've seen a lot of these coming onto the market recently with G&G releasing a new one. Aftermarket parts, quite hard to get for the L85s. Same with the G36. Because the G36, it's got this weird barrel. Do you want to
Yes.
talk about the outer barrel? Don't bother opening up, just talk about it.
The outer barrel.
Yeah, talk about the outer barrel.
I've never really actually opened her up, to be fair. So I don't really know.
Do you not remember the fuse issue?
Yes.
That's the whole system, is the outer barrel.
Yes. Inside here is where the battery goes, and it is a nightmare. to get in
this
and out.
specific one is even worse.
It's a very, very tight fit to the point where you almost feel like you're actually going to break the gun.
You just want to throw it against the wall, but I
Yeah.
still love the gun. So, like I said, a lot of these, the L85, a couple of the M4's, they have fuse boxes. Yours had a fuse, didn't it? That we've taken out. So, do you want to pass me that and tell the crowd what happened to your lovely G36 when you still owned it? That's now made it one of the most awkward guns in the group to put a battery in. Do you remember?
The fuse went,
The fuse went.
but luckily, the
It's a really weird design.
yes, they're in here. There is exactly the same. It's a Tamiya connection with the wire that's got the fuse in, and then that's then got a Tamiya connection for the battery.
So there's a Tamiya connection in the magwell
Yes.
going to the gearbox and the
Yes.
motor, and then there's a fuse box on a separate wire.
Yes, the fuse box was set in a separate wire, which in itself,
But where was the fuse box?
in here,
Yeah, but where was the fuse box merged to that caused so much problems?
I don't know.
It's merged to the outer barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Do you not remember? It's been a while since he's owned this gun,
Yes.
so we can't. I
About
remember.
two, I think it's about
2
2 years.
Yeah. So to get a replacement fuse, because you can't even get to the fuse,
No.
and if there's a problem with the wiring, it's really awkward. So to replace, I looked it up, and to replace, from what I read, some people are actually replacing the entire outer barrel assembly
Yeah.
and fuse box assembly with a brand new one.
Well,
which
when
is
I
so
looked
cheesy.
at getting a new fuse for that, the only thing it was actually pinging forward was
a brand new outer
a
barrel.
brand new outer barrel assembly. It's a nightmare. But I tell
So
you,
that
some
can put people off,
Yeah.
because again, aftermarket parts for these, they, again, internally kind of work a lot like the M4, still sort
Yes.
of same, roughly the same gearbox.
Yeah.
But you will need specific hop
Yeah.
units and other minor bits.
yeah,
So-
which you can't really like. You when you go to like an airsoft shop, you'll see M4, M4, M4.
we
M4.
go to our local quite
Yeah.
a lot, don't we?
Yes,
And it's just M4. Half the shop is just
it's just
full
based
of
on
M4s.
M4, different variants.
Yeah, you look on most websites and it's just different variants of
Yeah,
M4s.
like-
And like I said, when you're on the airsoft field, the point of this video, it gets kind of boring.
You're like, oh, he's got an M4. Oh, he's got an M4. And the
So-
guns that actually stand out are the ones that people don't tend to have. Like,
Do you want to pick up
which one?
at the end? So this is, again, like I said, I've got the L85, and there's a lot of these coming out now with the plastic bodyguard, but I've recently got one with the DD rail. So this is the more modern variant, and you like this, don't you?
I'm not really a big fan of bullpups in general,
Yeah, so
But-
we'll have them side by side.
but you can see the difference.
Yeah.
This scope was actually the one he was talking about
Yeah, this
earlier
is-
in the video.
I bought this when I bought this rifle, because to me, the L85, if you're going to have it as a combat weapon, needs the SUSAT.
Yes. So he's done it. He's done it properly,
Yeah.
and I quite like this one because it's a lot more. It's a lot more tactical. I don't like the width of the
Poly handguard.
handguard.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is a lot thinner, so you can end up having like a foregrip on it, and or like one like this with a bipod, or you can have a slanted one.
Yeah. So again, the customizability of this now has gone from all I can do is put a SUSAT onto it
Yeah.
to look, I can put all sorts of attachments on the front.
Yeah.
And if you can find them, you can actually get rail adapters because for some reason, when again this is the real world influence in airsoft, the rail underneath the carry handle and the SUSAT is not a 20mm Picatinny, it's dovetail, right? The look of confusion on Josh's face is amazing. You can tell I've done my research. So the only two things that will fit on this: iron tights, SUSAT. But now they've
The dovetail goes up like that. You can see if you look on it.
yeah.
Whereas if you look at
Picatinny's roughly the same, but it's got slots cut in, and there's a slight size difference. Now the Picatinny, of course, the screw sits in between the studs and holds it in place. Dovetail has to be screwed in. There's a couple of little. It's a really confusing
Yeah.
system. But like I said, you can now get an adapter that the British Army made, and some other people are replicating them, and you can fit any other sight on that as you want. And some people are doing it. Fair enough.
don't know what would actually apart from the SUSAT, what would actually go on.
They've used ACOGs in the field.
Yeah, that would.
And the Alcan Spectre. and I'm looking at getting one of the Alcan Spectres.
Yes.
So, enough of the M85. What is one of the main gun everyone always, one of the starter guns that everyone sort of goes, the newbies go, oh, M4, I must have M4. Right? And 3, 2, 1. If I don't bring down my house at the same time, the AK.
The AK. Woo!
We'll get into another video on these at a different time. Yeah, just put this up.
Because we can talk for hours.
Oh yeah, we
about
talk
the
for
AK.
hours on. But again, it's another option, and
Yes.
the aftermarket parts slightly harder to get hold of, but not as hard as the M5 or the G36.
No. Again, it's probably the second gun. I'd say it's probably
It's
the second.
gun. Everyone
Yes.
always gets an AK second.
Yes.
Roughly.
And again, you've
Unless
also got the two different styles.
Yeah.
Ben has got the traditional.
I've got the traditional full wood, full metal. You've got a more
I've got the tactical one, which is black. It's got the rails across the top, and the bottom, and the sides,
and you've got a
and
magwell
the
guy.
M4 style, stock as well.
But again, we can get onto the AKs in another
Yes,
video.
let's not go into them.
Right, so our main talking point is
the M4's.
the M4s. So all in all, the M4 platform, lovely gun. If you're starting off,
Yes,
if you want to keep, we're not dictating how you should run
No.
airsoft.
you do it how I've always said. You do it how you want to do it. If you want to run around in a bright pink flamingo bikini, then go ahead.
And I've seen pictures of people doing it in mankinis,
Yes.
so I'm not saying it.
Do it of whatever you feel comfortable doing. You
Yeah.
don't have to be. You see, me and Ben are completely different.
We've been doing this for coming on 5 years.
Yes. Ben is very... He likes the kind of everything's got to match. He likes the sort of...
I'm an impressionist. If you can't...
Yeah.
This is my camos behind,
Yeah,
and I've
so-
got MTP, Desert, and DPM.
Digiflora.
And Digiflora.
And a suit.
And a suit. But I impersonate the British Army, don't I? Well,
Yes.
not impersonate, I reenact
Yes.
the British Army. So that's why
As
I went
close
for the
as he can
L85.
possibly get it in Airsoft.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. That's why I went for the L85. So I've got mostly British Army kit. I got an M4 as a backup
Yeah.
because
You tend to use that more than anything.
I have fallen in love with the M4.
Yes.
That's the thing. We don't dislike the M4 platform.
I actually really like it.
You were a bit at the start of your airsoft.
Yes.
Now, like I said, I know a bit more about guns than you do, and you were a bit M4. I want something unique, and I was like, yeah, but I did that, and I'm paying the price for it.
Yes.
We're not going to go into that one. But you eventually came round to the M4. You've had a couple now.
Snap tip.
There's one of the problems. The quality of the build.
This was a Simon one, and I think it cost me about 75 quid from Taiwan Gun.
There's the big point.
Yes.
Not where you buy it from. It's the price.
Yes.
Now, for something metal, you're looking... I mean, that AK, brand new, Taiwan Gun, Cyma, 151 quid.
You can
But
pick
Taiwan Gun, as we know, is a very cheap site.
You can pick one up that looks like mine. That's plastic, and that
No,
would
that's
co-
metal as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. But plastic.
Yeah.
That might cost you sort of around 80 quid.
On Taiwan Gun.
On
you
Taiwan
look in
Gun.
the UK, where UK is, and you're again around the £120 mark. You can get quite a decent M4.
Yes.
I think the AR-15. Do you want to pick it up so people can remember which one it is? Again, this one, the AR-15, the M15, my father's rifle, about 120 quid. My brother's M16, again, 120 odd quid-ish, and this came with a plastic handguard and
Yes.
carry handle and everything. It was very military style. This is the M16A3, I think he bought it as. Again, 120 quid. It's the aftermarket parts that start adding up the price.
So
Again,
your
these
rails, your attachments.
rails, attachments, magazines.
Mm,
The lovely
alien gun.
alien gun, sci-fi gun, the RX5, or XR5, which I'm terrible with names like that. Very unique gun, again about 150 to 120 pounds, wasn't it?
Yes.
Your bow dynamics, we did a bit because you bought that second hand.
Yes.
Because we had a problem with your Cyma.
Yes.
Yours was the I think official designation within the US military is the MK18. Lovely rifle, shoots brilliantly.
It shot like a beast.
And the soul of that is now in your bow dynamics, but we're not going to go into
the
that.
soul is in my gun. It's still with us.
But the problem we had was there was a bit of an accident on a ditch.
On a muddy ditch. And
very muddy ditch.
I happened to slip on the wet muds.
Barrel down, and it went 2 directions.
It snapped in 2.
And I was stood watching this. Now, again, we're not going to go into the dynamics of how it happened. We all laughed, and then I just see this barrel and foregrip go bouncing off away from him, and I'm like, for sake.
Yeah, there was quite a few choice swear words that came out of a few of our mouths.
We can't recreate it, otherwise this would become a PG-18
yes.
video.
That is true. It is true.
And like I said, we just see this thing go barreling out, and it was a case of, well, bugger.
Yes, it was.
You weren't very happy.
I
snapped the hop chamber in half.
That's how bad it was. It snapped everything directly in the middle.
Just a quick example. There is a screw underneath this delta ring. That was completely snapped off the upper receiver and lodged inside your delta ring.
Yes, it wasn't good.
We could not get it out. So we've taken the handguard off. We tried everything. I was like, well, the gearbox is fine. The rear backs were fine. You just need a new receiver and a new hop unit, because the inner barrel was fine. And we just needed the whole new upper. But you weren't. You decided to get a brand new gun.
Yeah. See, I thought I summed it up like with everything, like with the new handguard, the new upper receiver, and the new hop. It would have probably cost me more than I paid for this Biodynamics M4.
Thankfully, we had a friend that was selling that cheap.
Yes, it was £50.
Yeah, we had second hand or third hand by now. But again, we had someone selling a gun. We managed to pick it up quite easily, and it works brilliantly.
Now it's been fixed.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that one.
No.
Actually, yeah, let's get into that one, because that again will show some of the. You could have. Don't get us wrong. You could have this with any airsoft gun.
Yes.
So you had it. It was an EBB.
It was an electric blowback.
Electric blowback. So basically,
so you
what
had
that
a bit
did,
of you had a bit of recoil in it, and there's like a little spring on the top of the gearbox.
Yeah, and the bolt carrier, fake bolt carrier, a little piece of metal would move inside the dust cover, and it looks cool, didn't it?
It felt really cool.
We tried our hardest to get it working, didn't we?
Yes, it took about
the hop unit was buggered.
5-6 weeks of trialing different things, like
we ended up sending it to a technician.
Yes, a very good one.
Yes, and he's now put in a new inner barrel.
It's got a Prometheus inner barrel, and it's got a SRS
SHH
whatever
SHS
air seal hot rubber.
If I can talk.
Yes, and he's wired it to Dean's as well, and it's phenomenal now. It
shoots
works
like a laser, is what you said the other day.
Yes, it does.
And again, you can easily put the hot rubber in the inner barrel in any of the others. It's just the hot
so all
chamber.
I have to do is take it off. Exactly the same with, let's say, for example, Ben's M4. Slide out the whole hop assembly and inner barrel, and slide it in.
I think
Job's a good one.
We won't take any of these apart.
No.
They're awkward to get back on. But the M4 platform, again, it's probably the easiest one to take apart. So, can I borrow that?
Yeah.
So again, once your mag's out, you literally have 2 retaining pins. One at the front, one at the back. Simply it.
Yeah. You just have to take
Slide
the front one out.
And you can easily get to the hop chamber.
Yeah, with that one, you just slide the front one out. That's it. Take it apart.
Slide the upper receiver.
Yeah.
And that's it. The hop chamber.
Give it a little bit of a push up and slide it forward.
Yeah. It depends on the make of the gun. So my metal one, you have to slide it all the way off because the receiver can't move. Some plastic ones easily just pop straight on off.
Yeah.
And it depends on the make of the rifle. But pretty easy to learn simple fixes on.
Yeah.
With your AK, trying to pick yours up, I've actually taken one of these AKs apart. Don't have it around the pistol case. You have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws.
Yeah.
6, 7. Yeah. Sorry, the Yeah, they're on the same side. You have to remove 6 screws with an Allen key on this one. I've not. Yeah, Allen key on the other one as well. And then take it completely apart.
Which is a nightmare.
Yeah, I did not enjoy taking my AK apart. I did. I like taking things apart, but
So you can see
getting it back together was a little bit awkward.
Yes. Whereas that one, it's super easy to get to everything.
Yeah,
The gearbox,
if you know what
the
you're doing, you
motor.
can have it. Well, the motor.
The motor is literally just a screw on the bottom. You just take it out and.
That's the same with anything like an AK and
Yeah.
with the standard style of magazine in front of the pistol grip. Bullpups are a bit different.
Yeah.
My L85 actually strips down really easily
Yeah.
because of being a pull-buck design. But if you're wanting to learn teching stuff, M4.
Mm.
Because that is what's on the market the most. That is what most people will try and want upgrading because they want that special forces PMC loadout, don't they? You have a special forces style loadout.
I have, yes.
I have my standard infantry stuff. I'm looking into special forces at the moment, but it's mostly standard infantry. So, yeah, real world does influence the airsoft world quite a lot.
Because most people if you're in America, for example, most of them will have a variant of the M4, whether it be AR-15s or whatever. Most people will have them because of the complete versatility of them.
With real shooting as well, you've got the price of ammunition.
Yes.
I know we use 6mm BBs, but I've been watching Demo Ranch, Forgotten Weapons, In Range TV, just to name drop a few. 308, not that kind of okay to get a hold of. 556,
You can get
easily,
yes.
so many different brands of 556 out there. 7.762.
Not so.
You can,
but it's not as easy
slightly
as
more expensive.
556.
No, because again, you go into an American gun shop, rack after rack after rack of M4, and then you've got others like the 50 Beowulf, which is a 50 BMG sort of, or 50 caliber M4. You've got 308 M4s. You've got M4s that take AK mags, and you can get those in the airsoft world as well. So I find that sort of thing interesting.
There's one gun that we have forgotten to talk about.
What's that?
That is Tom's 5.7. This is an M4 variant that takes a
yes,
P90.
Yes,
yes, we forgot about that one.
I don't even know if it's still got it. Yeah, it's an M4 variant. Looks pretty similar to this one, but instead of the magazine underneath,
there's a little indent that comes from about there to there.
No, it
and
goes all the way up to about here.
It depends on the size. Yeah, it's about there.
Yeah, it stops just above the hop unit, and it takes P90 mags.
It takes P90 mags.
I blown away when I saw this thing in the shop. Absolutely blown away by it, and I'm thinking, why would you want? And then the shell casing says, in real world, these are real guns. Instead of coming out the side, drop out the bottom.
Which, in a way, is actually a safer alternative.
Yeah, especially for your ambi users. Because you're a bit... You're eye dominant.
Yeah, I can shoot with both, but I primarily have my gun on my left shoulder.
Yeah, I'm more right-handed. Tom, Tombstone, is a lefty.
He's a lefty like me.
Well, he's actually left-handed and everything. So he needed ambidextrous guns. He's got an F2000, a FAMAS, and this 5.7. And again, didn't take, did it?
No.
Now this was on the market by the time we joined Airsoft, so I don't know how long this had been out on the market for. And you can still find them, the odd one or two, on some shops.
It's more like a concept.
It's because the mags.
Yeah.
P90 mags are not the nicest.
No.
You've had a P90.
I've had a P90, and it was good. A bit bulky. It was too light for me.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't. And obviously, it needed upgrading, but that's by the by.
You bought it second hand. I think he bought it second hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the mags you can only get mid caps or low caps. I don't think you can get.
You can get high caps. They are just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. You can get. I do know you can get a gravity mag. So It's a little latch on top of the mag. You fill it up with BBs, and literally, because it loads downwards, it's got a small slant inside the mag, and just feeds BBs like a MG box.
Yeah.
Just feeds BBs into a hole, and it goes into the hop unit. And there's just a little spring stopping them all falling out.
It did get it did get a lot of like weird looks.
Yeah. This is the thing. Going back to the start, our friend said when he first took that out in white, everyone was coming up and going, "What's that then? What's that then?" New and old players going, "What's that then?" And he's like, "Oh, it's so and so." And we know a player there, and he came up going, "What's that then?" "It's so and so." "Oh, but it's not an AK."
Yeah. People are so airsofters are so some of them are so set in their ways that if it's not an M4 or it's not an AK
or a G36
I reckon what we'd class as standard
standard
MP5s,
arms.
yeah, things like
Standard arms. So if it's been in a movie, someone will have it.
Yeah.
Your M4's always in the movie.
Always in movies.
Let's see. Off the top of my head, Black Hawk Down, 13 Hours, Lone Survivor, American Sniper.
Yep.
Flipping out. Bond movies.
Bond movies. There's been M4s in Bond movies. London Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen. They all M4s all the time.
I know it's a bit far back, but we were soldiers, and
Yes.
anything Vietnam, any film based Vietnam onwards, you'll find an M4 in there somewhere, or you'll find a G36, or you'll find an AK.
Yeah.
And people will see these, and they know that. And video games.
Yeah.
Video games as well. A lot of times it'll be, what was it when Ghost Warrior came out? Ghost Recon, Wildlands, that was it. Oh, who's going to build themselves in their Ghost Wildlands character in real life? Again, a lot of these weapons you can get in that game.
Yeah. You can't get anything else like this though.
Unless you go into Halo.
Yeah.
And I've just been added to a Halo community for Airsoft. But again,
you won't really class that as being standard, so of course it gets, or it might be there's some guns again that are standard but people don't really buy.
Yeah. So shall we wrap that up? Because it's going to be an hour-long video, that's right.
Well, it's 42 minutes at the minute, so let's wrap it up.
So, pros and cons. Pros: aftermarket, versatility, customizability, so many different flipping variants, and we haven't even touched on the bolt system.
Yes.
And HPA and all that.
If we go into, it could be more like a two hour video talking about M4s.
That was my fault. Yeah. Cons for players like us that have been around for so long. Everyone's got one.
Yeah. At least once.
I mean, our friend, he, you know the Russian guy.
Yeah.
He had an M4. He admitted to me once he had M4s once.
Yeah.
Everyone's got them.
Everyone has an M4 at least once in their airsoft career.
Yeah. Or has one sat around somewhere doing nothing. So yeah, M4s.
Are they boring?
No.
Yes. Are they boring? Yes. Are they absolutely brilliant? Yes. That's the answer to the question. Yes, they are boring because everyone has one. Are they absolutely brilliant? Yes.
Yeah, for kits and stuff. Brilliant.
For kits, yeah.
So yeah, that's Fireteam Robin. M4s are boring.
But they're also brilliant. Good night.